Good morning, everybody. I'm Frank Spillers with Rural Community Solutions, where we help communities create family-friendly, youth-centered places that attract people. Now, we want to attract entrepreneurs. We want to attract entrepreneurial wealth to your community, and we do that through that. We do that through four pillars: relationships, engagement, entrepreneurs, and collaborations. And with those four pillars upholding the foundation of your community and the foundation of what you are doing through those four pillars, you will build trust, unity, and great policy that will help support your community. So I want to talk today. It's a little bit different show today because we're coming up on Father's Day. And happy Father's Day out there to all the fathers, and happy Father's Day out there to all the families that have fathers, that have great memories of fathers. But I want to go down just a little bit different here of what your families and what your community could be going through, what individuals in your community could be going through on this specific day or because of this specific day. So Father's Day is an event. Now, if you have been following us the last couple of weeks, you'll know that we have been doing a lot of mindset, stress things, mental health. Entrepreneurs need mental health. And really the bottom line of our shows the last couple of weeks is that if your economic development organization does not have a mental health component in it, it needs to, because people coming out of COVID, your businesses coming out of COVID, have really gone through about 15, 16 months of high stress events. Now, some of your entrepreneurs have really thrived and have really made great gains because of COVID. However, there's others out there that didn't fare so well. And just because some of your businesses did well does not mean that all of your businesses have done well. So you really need to, how do you support those businesses that came through a high degree of stress? They're still there, but yet their stress is still there also, which is an emotion which plays a very health role in their body. So businesses came through an event. Your families are coming through an event right now. So Father's Day is an event. And so you have to understand that not everybody has a great perception of family or a great perception of fathers. And so as we look at this graphic right here, okay, stress is caused by expectations and perceptions. So if you have an event, then it's the belief of the event that creates your perception. The perception creates the belief. And if take me for an example, my perception of Father's Day is I grew up without a father. So what's Father's Day to me? It's just another day. It is a day for some other families to celebrate fatherhood, to celebrate and uphold the fathers that children have a great perception of, basically, is the bottom line. If your kids have a great perception of you as a father, then you have a great Father's Day. If your kids have a view of you as not so much of a good father, then Father's Day doesn't mean as much to either of you. You might have a strained relationship with your kids. You might come from a divorced family, so your kids have two fathers, or they have one true father and a husband to their mother. That could be that perception of a person. Now, there's also other families out there that have a true father, that are divorced, has a true father, and a stepdad or a stepfather to the children who didn't replace the true father, but it has created a happy family to where, it's still that role in the family. though it's not the traditional role. And so that father does go through some expectations, some perceptions of, it's not really my day to celebrate because I'm not really the father. It is a different way to look at this. And I'm bringing reality into this situation because on the commercials, everybody celebrates the greatest father in the world. And you look at those commercials, and that might not be your perception of what Father's Day is. And so it might not be the greatest father in the world. So the day is just another day. And you have to understand that sometimes it does create a stressful event within the family. It does create a stressful event within your community, especially if you are building family-friendly, youth-centered places. Because as you build a family-friendly community, you are going to have different family structures. You have to understand that what is reality these days is a different family structure. So if you come from a family that is not, and I don't like to use the term traditional family, because I don't think there are any more traditional families that you are going to have. You might have two dads, you might have two moms, you might have a father and a wife that you're living under the same roof with the father you were born to and the mother you were born to. All right. And so, or you're living under the roof of the mother you were born to and the father that married your mother. Or the opposite other that you're living under the roof of the father you were born to and his wife. So it really is dependent upon how you view a family and the perception. Now, what we have to do in our community is encourage and engage and build relationships with all families. It doesn't matter what structure that family is. So if you are really looking to build and create a family-friendly, youth-centered environment within your community, you have to think about what family defines. How do you define family? How do you define that environment? Because when you define a family, and it's based upon your belief and it's based upon your perception, that is how you will be building relations, and that's how you will be building and treating the families that live within your community. And it will also then create the environment for those families to feel like they belong. Because if they don't have a relationship with your community, or they feel kind of like the outsider and they don't feel like they belong, they're looking to where they do feel like they belong. They're looking around to maybe another group or organization to where they do feel they belong, or they're looking towards another community. So you have to really understand who lives in your community, understand the definition of who will you accept within your community. It goes deeper than just the words of family-friendly, youth-centered. It goes into the perception of what do you mean, what do you think of when you hear the term family-friendly, youth-centered? Because that is the environment, that is the community that you will create. So all of this is based upon that event and the perception, because then that gives you the reality that you're living in right now. And if people's perceptions of that event are not matched, or you don't talk about different people's perceptions, then you're not engaging your community, and everybody comes at it at a different way. So having that conversation in your community about what means family-friendly in your community will really open up the opportunities that you can attract the families that you want to have into your community. It's not a right or a wrong thing. It is what fits with you. And so as you're going through this process, as you're walking down the street, think about what this Father's Day might mean to some people, because it doesn't mean the same to everybody. You have to understand that, and you have to accept it and engage in that people's perceptions are going through different emotions right now. And so understanding where you're at and understanding the event and people's perceptions of that event, you have to engage them and talk through the issue, not just talk about it and assume that everybody is on the same perception, on the same level playing field that you were on. That's what we do here at Rural Community Solutions. We help you dig deeper into your community to really think about what community development means to you. What does population increase mean to you? What does wealth mean to you? And when you build upon the 4 pillars of relationships, engagement, entrepreneurs, and collaboration, you really build upon the 4 values that you can uphold your community with, and those values that we hold dear to us, that we work towards in our business, in our corporation here at Rural Community Solutions, is unity, how well people get along, trust, how well do you trust everybody to get that unity? We build upon great policy. Policy is a value to us because rules and regulations and policies help create that environment to where people can become what they want to become. And then also a value that we have is entrepreneurial wealth. Entrepreneurial wealth is a value because it allows people that creativity. It's not just money. It's not. In fact, money is very low on the totem pole on that. It is more of a value of wealth creation of in people, the talents, the skills, everything that they want to be, they can become. What is the vision of the individual, and what can they become in your community? Can they become what they want to become? Everybody in your community should be able to, in the environment that you set, should be able to achieve the vision of their life they wish to achieve. That's what Rural Community Solutions does. We help design family-friendly, youth-centered places that attract the people that want to live there, that create the environment of the people that feel like they belong and have that sense of belonging within their community. So if you're interested in that, email me, Frank at G Horizons, or you can email Kim at ghorizons.com. And let's start that conversation of how do we have those conversations? How do we dig deep into creating that type of culture in our rural community? Now, we specialize in working in rural communities of counties of populations of 30,000 or less, or towns of 8,000 or less. And when we do that, then those are the communities that we best can serve, because people want to live in those communities. People are targeting your community to live there these days. People are choosing where they want to live and then bringing their wealth and their economy with them in the source of their job or their business. So we'd love to have that conversation with you. I'm Frank Spillers. This has been Rural Community Solutions. You can find us if it's on a podcast at anchor.fm/Frank Spillers and Think Like an Entrepreneur, become a spark plug, or our YouTube channel under Think Like an Entrepreneur, become a spark plug, YouTube under Rural Community Solutions TV. Love to have the conversation with you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us these last couple of weeks. Remember, mental health as part of your economic development organization is a necessity. Just like your existing business visitation program, you need a mental health visitation program to all your business owners. So if that resonates with you, give me a call, give me an email. Let us know what you think. Have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.